just received a new shipment from UniFi and I got the Dream Machine Beast. I'm so excited about this. I also got a new access point and this device to power the access point because this does not come with any PoE. So if you guys want the new XG access points, which need a 10 gigabit connection, they also require PoE. So this beast is not going to be able to power it. And I know most people don't have 10 gig switches yet that are PoE. So I got this PoE injector to make this whole system work together. Okay, the reason I got the Dream Machine Beast is because my Dream Machine Special Edition was having issues running Protect. I have 10 cameras now, and the issue is it keeps on restarting Protect and the network as well. So hopefully this is going to solve the issue, as I was running at 90% memory and about 80% CPU usage. And I also have 2 streams of the monitors running of Protect. And I think that's what was leading to my issues, because technically I hadn't hit the camera limit capacity, but I was still having issues. So I'm hoping this is going to solve the issue. This thing is heavy, substantially heavier than my Dream Machine Special Edition. And while we go on that, I'm going to do a little bit of a rant with UniFi's naming system. Why do they call the Dream Machine Special Edition when it's not the Special Edition of the Dream Machine? It's a Special Edition of the Dream Machine Pro. So it should be called the Dream Machine Pro Special Edition. And then they go to the Dream Machine Pro Max. That's a normal naming scheme. But the Dream Machine, this is called the Dream Machine Beast. Why is it not the Dream Machine Pro Beast? So that's my little rant for today, because the last video I called it the Dream Machine Pro SE because it is a special edition of the Dream Machine Pro, not of the Dream Machine. So what we have here is the Beast. Now, many people say this is complete overkill for a house. You can run like a hospital or a school with this thing. It has like 7,000 possible clients that can be connected to it and run, I don't know how many UniFi devices. We'll put up the stats on the screen here. But the 2 reasons I bought it is, 1, I wanted a more powerful device to get more cameras connected to it. I haven't bought the NVR yet because hard drives are crazy expensive. So this one I can just populate with 1 hard drive and it'll be enough. And then people will say, why didn't you buy the Dream Machine Max? It's like a quarter of the price of this thing. The reason is these 2 ports right here. They're 25 gig ports. So I one day want an entire 10 gig network. So if you're going to be connecting a 20 or 48 port 10 gig switch and you're going to uplink it with a single, you're only going to be able to uplink it with a 10 gig connection with all the other devices because they don't have 25 gig ports. So it doesn't make sense to uplink a port with 48 ports of 10 gig with a 10 gig uplink. So this is going to be a 25 gig uplink to my future 48 port 10 gig switch. So that's the reason to upgrade over the Dream Machine Max. That's the primary reason. I could just go with the Dream Machine Max and it would be enough for running Protect and all my network, but it doesn't have that port. So that's one of the key features. The port selection on the Dream Machine Beast, starting from right to left, we have the 2 25 gig uplink ports that I talked about earlier, which is going to be great for networking with higher end switches. We also have 2 10 gig ports for more of legacy switches, like your 1 gig switches. Then we move into the best parts. We have 8 10 gig ports. Unfortunately, not PoE. I wish they were PoE, but that would have led to increased costs, but it would have been really nice if they were PoE. Maybe they'll come out with a special edition Beast and they'll be PoE. And then the last 2 ports are, I think they're just 1 gig ports. So I'll have to double check, but one's meant for shadow mode. And the other one I am going to use as my WAN port. Because here in Canada, our Wi-Fi, our internet options are quite limited. I know a lot of people in the States who have like 2 or 3 or 4 WAN backups. But here in Canada, our internet's really expensive and it's kind of shit. So I have a half gigabit connection, which I pay through the nose for, and that's all I'm gonna have. So I'm gonna connect that to one of my slower ports here. I know in the States, you guys may have 5 gig connections or 2.5 or something. So you may wanna use one of your other ports as your WAN port. But here, because because I have a slow internet connection, this one will more than suffice. Okay, on the back, this thing is going to generate a lot of heat. So we got tons of fans here. We got what, 5 fans right here, which is excellent. We also have the standard power port right here, and then UniFi's proprietary power system, which I don't think anybody ever uses. It's kind of needless at this point, but if you do have whatever the redundant power backup system, you can use that thing, but I don't recommend it. And then the last port we have is a console port. Nobody really knows exactly what the hell this thing does, and I don't think even UniFi knows what the hell it does. But I think it has a future use case scenario. So for management of the switch, I don't think UniFi has even made the software and stuff for it yet, but I am still going to connect it and have it ready for if I do need to go into there and do direct console management. I'm pretty sure everything's going to be able to be done through their standard GUI interface, but maybe there's something special for that port in the future. I don't know, but that is there. Oh, we also got a lock for the power supply. Not that most people need that. If you connect it up to your switch, I don't see how the power plug could ever come loose, but maybe if you have kids and they yank on it and it's possible they could disconnect the power, but I don't think that is going to happen. Okay, now we got the UniFi goodie bag that comes with it. So we're going to find out what comes in the goodie bag, the Dream Machine Beast. We got, a nice braided power cord. I like it. Good quality, good quality. And the typical UniFi screw kit. They put this thing so nicely together. Like, look at that. Look at that. This is beautiful. Every company should do that instead of using those little stupid plastic bags that you have to open for each individual screw. That's the way a company should do it. Then we got rack ears. It's gonna be important. I'm pretty sure everybody who buys the Beast is gonna have a rack, so you're definitely gonna need that. And then basic user manual that nobody ever opens. I just throw this thing in a drawer and it sits there for a year. Then I finally burn it in my fireplace because I don't need it. But I do take off the plastic before burning the fireplace. I am somewhat environmentally conscious, so I think it's a good use of the paper. And that completes the UniFi goodie bag for today. Thank you, everybody. Okay, I call it the UniFi goodie bag. Next on the list, we got the UniFi U7 Pro XG, not XGS. I don't think is necessary for most people. It's got a spectral band analyzer to see if your Wi-Fi bands are optimized. Maybe you need it if you live in some giant high-rise where there's just competing Wi-Fi everywhere. But I live in a house and everyone else around me is old and their Wi-Fi sucks, so I don't really have to worry about that. So I just got the regular XG. So XG, if you guys don't know, means 10 gig in UniFi language. So this sucker needs a 10 gig connection, and it is PoE plus, not PoE plus plus, which is nice because not many switches have plus plus power. So this is a new UniFi design. We'll compare it to another access point, which is right up there, the old space shuttle model. This one is their newer design. I'm going to call it the hockey puck plunger look. It's better for heat dissipation, apparently, because this thing's going to get hot with its capability. And I don't know if I like it more than the other one. I kind of like the space shuttle look, but we'll see how this one looks up on the wall. We're sticking up really up high, so you'll barely see it. I didn't have the funding to replace all of them, and I didn't have a use case for... I have 5 access points in the house, so I don't want to place them all. I just got one to start, which should be enough. And in addition, we got this sucker, which is the PoE plus plus adapter. So I got additional capabilities with it. Because this thing does not have any PoE with it, I needed this thing, which makes your switch look kind of ugly because you got to have to plug this thing into it, then plug that thing into it. So it's not as clean of an install, but one day, hopefully UniFi will send me their 48 port PoE 10 gig switch because I would love to have that thing. And then I won't need this thing anymore. So all this thing is a little adapter to give power. So how this guy works is you have to plug it into the wall, then you plug one end of your patch cable into the switch, which is on the other side here, and you plug it into here, and then it comes right back out again, and then the wire runs to your access point and delivers power over internet. That is what this little doodad did. Ethernet, that's correct. I said it wrong. Power over Ethernet, not internet. Yeah, I know. I have made the mistake. I know the internet does not deliver power directly. It goes over Ethernet. That's very correct. Thank you. Good. Okay, our next video is going to be comparing the Dream Machine Beast to the Dream Machine Special Edition, which I'm upgrading from. So we'll give a deep dive in the comparison to the ports and which of the use case scenario, why you'd buy the Dream Machine Pro SE or Dream Machine Pro or Dream Machine SE or Dream Machine Pro Max or Dream Machine Beast. And we'll have a comparison of who each is for everybody. Spoiler alert, basically the Dream Machine will probably be good enough for most people. But if you're a real tech enthusiast and really like cameras, which I do, maybe you'll need the Beast.